I just want to talk to you about CMHA and our Client Assistance Fund.
Many of the clients that we serve at CMHA have very limited financial resources, and this can cause a lot of stress and anxiety when a person doesn't know how they're going to get to their next doctor's appointment, or they don't have enough food on the shelf. Many of our clients make use of local food banks and other resources that are available, but the things that are lacking from those services are things like fresh produce, meat, things that wouldn't necessarily be at a food bank. So CMHA has set up a client assistance fund. Many of our staff make contributions to this from their payroll. Others make one-time donations, and we certainly are very grateful for donations from our community who give to this fund quite generously. From the Client Assistance Fund, CMHA's clients are able to inform their worker when there is a need. For instance, maybe they're trying to find work and they need bus tickets so that they can get to interviews. So CMHA purchases bus tickets, has some on site, and then we're able to give the client some bus tickets so that we know they're going to be able to get to that all-important interview. They may use them for a doctor's appointment. Many of our clients may have physical limitations that make getting on and off a bus a challenge. And so we might use the Client Assistance Fund to pay for a taxi, again, to get somebody to an important meeting or a doctor's appointment. So those are really common kinds of uses, but we also have grocery cards. So we're able to help out when those food resources are scarce. Sometimes, something just comes up. You have a pet cat and suddenly it's sick and you have to go to the vet. Oh my gosh, now the vet bill is $100. Well, when you're living on a shoestring budget, that money really dents into your ability to fill your grocery cart. Again, the person might come to their worker and explain the situation, and the worker might go to the Client Assistance Fund to get some grocery cards for that individual for that month. Sometimes it's things like clothing. There are some great resources locally to pick up used clothing, gently used clothing, but who really wants to go and get used underwear, to be quite frank? So we will use Client Assistance Fund to help pay for things like undergarments, socks, hats, warm shoes and boots. Sometimes a client may have a new job where they're required to have a certain type of shoe, maybe a steel-toed boot. Can't afford that. Again, Client Assistance Fund comes in handy for all kinds of needs that arise to help support our clients in their day-to-day living. So that just gives you a little bit of flavor about what the Client Assistance Fund is there for. We do have a limit for a client each year so that we're not using it excessively for each client, and we want to make sure that we don't utilize all the resources for just a few people and then suddenly there's a need and we don't have any money to pay for it. But we do really appreciate the contributions to this fund. They're used carefully and with the intent of really helping to make a difference for the people that we serve coming through our door. So I hope that gives you some better insight into what these donations that you're making today may be able to help with. Thank you.
My introduction to the Canadian mental health began in 2011 with the sudden loss of my husband. I knew that I was going to need professional support and guidance, so I reached out to CMHA, was offered one-on-one sessions with a counselor, which I look forward to each week or every other week whenever I would be scheduled. I knew that I needed to be there to unload so that I was able to be an effective example for my children and for my family. I didn't want to unnecessarily burden them with my story, my situation, my difficult days. Really relied on the team here. After one-on-one sessions, I went to group sessions, and those were also very helpful for me to see that there were other people that were walking my journey and experiencing my circumstance. There is no words to express what the loss of my husband did to my life, my my world was shattered. The future that I thought I had with him, I now had to go alone. I depended on the care that I received through CMHA. Through group and one-on-one sessions, I was able to find the inspiration and the value in my life. My husband was always volunteering in our community. He volunteered, he coached baseball, he did Goodfellows baskets every Christmas, he was the president of the local Lions Club. He was always the one to drop everything to give back, to help anybody in need. And I knew that was my inspiration. I knew that I needed to create that legacy for him and help his memory and his life to live on through me. Reaching forward, I knew that I also needed to help other people that were going through the same situation as me. And if I could be a light to them, if I could help them on their journey, I knew I had to give back. And so I came back to the bereavement program to volunteer to help other widows and widowers on their journey. I always say to Sonia that I always walk away from group with more. I've taken more than I've given. Being a part of this team and this community has helped to heal my heart and help me to be inspired and to go forward and try to be positive. And there is a journey, there is a life after loss, and I'm excited and I'm happy to be a part of this team. I just look forward to many more years with the team.
My name is Sonia McMahon-Comartin. I'm the bereavement educator here at CMHA, and I just want to let you know a little bit about our bereavement program. Privileged to be able to offer seminars. Right now they're virtual, so we have them as webinars to provide support and education. For one-on-one, we do have the therapy program, so please keep that in mind, reaching out as necessary. And the other piece, we have a number of groups that we continue to have very positive feedback from our clients, because we not only have professionals providing support, but a multitude of wonderful volunteers who have walked a similar road as you, and they complement that support so well. So please feel welcome to reach out to this free service. The number is 519-973-4435, and just specify that you'd like to do a bereavement intake. We're pleased to be able to offer bereavement education seminars. Right now they're offered virtually, so as webinars. The first one that we have is a general information bereavement webinar. Differentiates between grief and mourning to ensure that we're all doing that important work of mourning, which is the self-expression. I talk to people about and want you to be aware that bereavement means to be torn apart, to have special needs. We often don't think about that. But no wonder there's the multitude of emotions that come, and we certainly want to continue to normalize those emotions and be with them. Our second seminar that we've recently developed, we focus on meditation and mindfulness, recognizing how vitally important and beneficial those pieces are as well. And we also specifically go into dealing with guilt and shame. And the other webinar that we have is called Parenting Through Grief. So if that would be of help to you, depending on your situation, we certainly welcome you to register for that one also. Our support groups, we have them so they're loss specific. We offer spousal loss group as well as spousal loss aftercare. We also have bereaved parents group in general. We'll soon be offering bereaved parents of infants. We also have the adult grievers group for people who have had someone die, whether that be a friend, a parent, or a sibling. And we also offer survivors of suicide loss as well.